Welcome to part 2 of this tutorial. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, you'll find a link in the description. And you will also find a free template in the description if you want to recreate this app screen. And now, let's get started with this tutorial. In part 1, we built the structure of our app screen. Now we will put the finishing touches on these screens. First, we copy our status bar, drag it into our iPhone frame, and place it on the upper edge of the screen. Then we click on Prototype at the top right and define the position to Fixed. Then we make sure that the constraints are at the top and left. Next, we copy our graphics. Click on our upper banner and insert the graphic. We can delete the previous rectangle. We click again on our banner and change the corner radius to 12. So we have created exactly the same banner as in the template. Then we came to our menu items. There we prepared a series of graphics. We click on a graphic and create a component. And we do this with all other graphics. After we have done this, we mark our graphics and combine them into variants. We move the whole thing up a bit and rename our variant to Category Images. Then we select a menu element from our iPhone frame, copy it, and drag it next to our components. After that, we create a new component from this element. We rename this component to Category Card. Then we copy one of our category images and insert it into our other component. We place the whole thing in the middle. And delete our old circle. Now let's look at the text again in more detail. We select our text in the component and change the font size to 12 and the height to 16. Next, we create a text property. And we call this property Label. Next, we click on the plus icon next to our properties and choose Nested Instances. Here, make sure that you select the Category Images checkbox. Then we can copy our component and insert them into our auto layout. We move the whole thing to the left, delete our old element, and copy our component. On the right side, we now have different editing options. Now, we match all the text and images we have and finish our first row. Then we copy this first row and insert it again. Now we click on our components and match all the text and images again. For our last element, we don't need an image, but an icon. That's why we copy one of our old elements and insert it instead of a component. And again, we adjust the text size and height. After that, we can delete our old row. Now we click on Frame at the top left and create a 24-pixel frame. We click on our Circle tool at the top left. Draw a circle and change the color to black. We adjust the size a little more, copy our element and move it to the right. And we'll do the whole thing again a second time. Then we select our frame and create a component. We change the name of our component in the left column in I Can Set More. We pull the whole thing up a little to our other components, copy it, and insert it into our element. We can delete the circle again. And we see our icon still has a background color. We select our icon component and remove it. And let's see if it fits. I think we can make it a little bit bigger. We select our icon again and change the size to 32. And we see that doesn't fit. We have to press K on our keyboard and the scale menu opens. There we adjust the size to 32. And we can already see it works and that we have created a very similar element to our template. Then we copy our frame from the search bar. We move it to our template. Select the ellipse tool, draw a similar large circle. Add a stroke and delete our background color. Set the stroke to center, change the color to red and the strength to 2. Then we make it a little bit smaller so that it fits our template. Then we select our pen tool at the top left and draw a line. We also give this line the strength too. We change the colors to black. Mark both and drag it into our frame. Then we select the frame and create a component. We give this component the name I Can Set Search. After that, we drag the whole thing to our other icon. Then we remove the background color, copy our icon, click in our search field, and enter our icon. Now we can delete the old frame. And now we can continue with the next element. We copy our frame again. Zoom into our template. Click on the circle tool. Draw a circle. Click on our pen tool. Draw a line. Mark both elements and drag them into our frame. Then we adjust the colors. After that, we create a component and named it iconSetClock. Then drag it to the other icons, remove the background, copy it, and place it into our auto layout. And again, we copy our frame, drag it to the left side of our template. Select the pen tool at the top left and create an arrow. We then drag this to our frame, select the frame, drag it a little to the right, and we're good to go. Then we place our arrow in the middle, select our frame, and create a component. We call this component iconSetArrowDown. Drag the element up again, remove the background, copy it, and add it to our auto layout. We can delete the old frame. We click on our arrow again and change the anchor point a little so that it fits better to our template. Then we click on our auto layout and change the distance a little to 4. That should fit. Then we select our frame again, copy it, pull it to the left side. Select our pen tool. Wait a moment. We have another option. We click on our shapes and select star. Now we can draw a star. We change the radius a little bit to 50. That looks good. We drag the star into our frame, select the color picker, and select the color from our template. We click on the frame, create a component, and change the name to iconSetStar. We drag it back to our icons, remove the background color, copy it, and paste it in our auto layout. We can delete the old frame again. We do exactly the same with our last icon. We copy our frame, drag it to the left. Select the ellipse at the top left. Draw a circle. We do exactly the same again for the circle in the middle. We change the color to white. Change the color of our other circle. Then we select the pen tool at the top left and draw a line. We give this line the right color again. Then we mark all 3 elements and drag them into our frame. We select the frame and create a component. We call these component iconSetPin. we pull our component up again, remove the background color, copy it, and insert it instead of our frame. We can delete the old frame. That looks good. Then we have to add a map. We also prepared an image for this. We copy this one, click into our frame and insert the map. Then we adjust the size of the map to our frame. And last but not least, we measure the icons of our bottom navigation. We copy our frame, drag it to the left. Click on our pen tool and create an icon which looks exactly like the icon in our template. We have to select our element and move the anchor point a little bit. We give the whole thing a background color and remove the stroke. Then we adjust the background color and select the frame. We drag it to the left side and create a component. We give this component the name iconSetHome. We drag this icon up again, remove our background, copy the icon, and add it to our bottom navigation. We can delete the old frame again. We do the same with our second menu item. We select the pen tool from the top left. We create an icon that looks a lot like the one in our template. We adjust the anchor points a little, add a background and remove the stroke. Then we select our color picker and select our correct color. Then the two stripes in the middle are still missing. For this, we click on our pen tool and draw a line. We give this line the strength too. Then we change the color to white. And we see the line is not quite centered. That's why we select our newly created element again and adjust the anchor points a little. Now the distances are exactly right. We copy our line, mark all three elements, and drag them into our frame. We select the frame again. We move it to the right and create a component. We give this component the name iconSetActivity. We place the whole thing back to our other icons and remove the background color. We copy our element and insert it into our bottom navigation. We can delete our old frame. Then we copy the frame from our third menu item. Select the ellipse tool at the top left and draw a circle. Then we select our pen tool and create the body. For this, we draw a rectangle. We give the whole thing a background color. Then we mark both elements and select the color picker. Then we select the color from our template. Finally, we select the two upper anchor points of our rectangle and change the corner radius to 6. Then we select both elements and drag them into our frame. We adjust the circle, it gets a little smaller. Our rectangle gets a little bigger. Then we select our frame and create a component. We call this component icon set account. We drag it back to our other icon, remove the background color, copy it, and add it to our bottom navigation. We can delete our old frame again. Then we select our home indicator on the left side, copy it, and add it to our iPhone frame. We now mark your home indicator and bottom navigation. Combine them with auto layout and change the distance to 0. Then we select our 5 elements within our screen and combine them with auto layout. We change the distance to 24. The distance to the right and left to 16 as well as above and below. We place the whole thing in the middle. Then we have to select our banner and change the width from hug to fill. We do the exact same thing with our other components. We select all and change the width from hug to fill. Then we select our search bar and also change the width from hug to fill. And we see the auto layout has moved a little. That's why we move it to the full width of our frame. Exactly to our fitting size. Then we select our 2-line items. Also adjust the size from hug to fill. We do the same with our last element. We select it. Then change the width from hug to fill. We do the same with our font. And also with our map. We see the frame has enlarged, but not the image. That's why we have to click on the image again and adjust the size manually. Then we can mark our bottom navigation and place it exactly on our newly created auto layout. Now we select the iPhone frame and change the height exactly to the height of elements. Then we select our bottom navigation and click on Prototype on the right. We set the position to fixed and make sure that the constraints are at the bottom and left. Now we can select our iPhone frame and click on Prototype. We open the Prototype settings and change the frame to iPhone 13 mini. We adjust the background color and click on Preview at the top right. And as we can see, everything works exactly as we wanted it to. We can mark both screens, slide them down a bit, and move our next screen further to the left. We copy our status bar again. Drag it into our frame and place it at the top edge of the screen. We click on Design and remove the background color. After that, we copy our frame again. Drag it to the left side and try to recreate exactly the icon as we find it in our template. We change the color a little so that we can see which lines we are currently drawing. We change the strength to 2. Select our pen tool again and draw a few arrows. Mark both elements and drag them into our frame. We adjust the anchor points a little bit so that it gets closer to our template. We change the strength to 3 and adjust the color. We make sure that the elements are placed in the middle. We select our frame and create a component. We give this component the name icon_set_arrow_left. We drag the element again to our other icons and remove the background color. We copy it and put it instead of our frame. We can delete the old frame. Then we select our circle frame and make sure that it is exactly below the status bar. Now we can go up left. Click on the rectangle and draw a 16-pixel rectangle. We place it on the left side. Select our frame and drag it exactly on the edge. Then we can delete our rectangle again. Then we select our map again, copy it, and insert it into our upper frame. We make the whole thing a little bigger. Right-click and click on Send to Back. So the map is placed in the background. After that, we select all 3 elements and add a drop shadow effect. Then we change the blur value to 8 and the opacity to 10. Now we have a light shadow, just like in our template. Now we have to create the arrows. And we already created an arrow. What we do now is we draw a frame. Copy our arrow from before. Add it to our frame and rotate it. Then we click on our frame again, create a component, and give the component the name icon_set_arrow_right. We remove the background color, copy our icon, and insert it instead of our frame. We can delete the old frame. Then we insert our arrow into our lower element and delete the old frame. And what we can do now is to reduce the size of our lower element a little. For this, we select our auto layout, change the distance from 8 to 0. We change the width from fixed to hug. We select our text, and we also change the width from fixed to hug. We can now do the same with our upper element. We select the auto layout, change the distance from 8 to 0. Then we change the width from fill to hug. And that looks good. It's very close to what we have in our template. Then we copy our image on the left side. Click on our frame on the right side and insert it. Now we adjust the size to 72 and place it exactly in the middle. We select our frame and delete the background color. This is also very close to what we see in our template. What is still missing are a few icons. For this, we select our frame again. Copy it, drag it to our template, select our ellipse tool, and try to create an equal size icon. To do this, we repeat all the steps that we have already done for our account icon. Change the corner radius to 3. Place our circle exactly in the middle. Mark both elements and drag them into our frame. We adjust the color to black. Change the size a little more. Place the whole thing exactly in the middle. Select our frame and create a component. We give this component the name iconset/account small. We drag the icon up again and remove our background color. We copy our icon and insert it instead of our template. And we can delete our old frame again. Now we see the distances are still a little too big. For this, we click into our auto layout and change the distance to 0. Now there is one icon missing. For this, we mark our frame again. We copy it and create a circle. We drag this into our frame. We change the color to black. Select our frame and create a component. Give this component the name iconset/point. Drag it up again to our other icons. Remove the background color. Copy our point and add it to our auto layout. We can delete our old frame. We change the distance to each other to -4. We see that's getting very close. Then we mark our frame in which the car image is included. Click in our auto layout below and insert it. We can delete our placeholder. We do exactly the same with our last line item. And we see there is not much left until we have rebuilt our complete screens. We copy our frame again. Pull on the left side. Select the ellipse tool at the top left. Draw a circle. We then give this circle our desired color by selecting the color picker. We change the opacity slightly from 100 to 80. We mark both elements and drag them into our frame. Now we select our rectangle from top left and draw a rectangle. We move the whole thing to the left, and now we have the possibility to build our frame just as big as our rectangle. We place the circles in the middle. We choose the right color and change the corner radius to 2. We create a component and call it MasterCard Badge. We delete our old rectangle. Drag our badge to the other icons. We copy it and add it to our auto layout. We see that with the background color from 100 to 80, that doesn't quite fit. That's why we take another step back. Now both circles have an opacity of 100. We mark our 2 circles and copy them. Then we click on our toolbar at the top and select Interselect Selection. Now an intersection of our 2 circles is created, and we can then give this cut amount exactly our matching color. And we have created exactly our badge that we need. Pull it up again. And see, because we have created a component, it has changed automatically. Now we copy the arrow we just made. Insert it. Select the arrow and select the color from our template. Then we copy our last frame, drag it back to our template. We copy the clock we created at the beginning. And adjust the size to the size we need. We do the same with the line. That looks good. Then we select our pen tool at the top left and we draw an equal size icon. At this point, we can just draw a diagonal line. We give the whole thing a background color and deactivate the stroke. Then we give the background color black and draw the car lights. For this, we use our rectangle tool again. We place all elements in our frame. Then we select our circle and add a stroke. We give this stroke the color white and set it to outside. We change the size to 2. We select our lights and pull them to our desired position. We also change the color to white. Then we align them exactly to our appropriate position. We mark our clock again. Slide it up a little bit to a suitable position. We select our frame and deactivate Clip Content. With that, you can also see all elements that are outside the frame. We select the frame and create a component. We give this one the name iconset/car clock. We drag our icon up again, copy it, and paste it into our frame. We delete our placeholder and see that the background color of our frame still deviates a little. For this, we copy our background color. Click again in our icon and change the stroke color. And now we see we have created exactly the icon we need. Finally, we select our button below and create a component from it. We then call this component button. We pull the components out of our auto layout. Place them up where all other components are placed. We copy this one and put them back in our desired place. And last but not least, we need our home indicator. For this, we copy it again and place it in our lowest auto layout. Then we mark the whole thing, move it down a little bit, and change the distance to 0. Then we mark our large auto layout again and place it at the lower edge of the screen. And we're done with our 2 screens. We have rebuilt it as accurately as possible. We can still watch the whole thing in the pre-show. That looks good. And that's it with this tutorial. I hope you learned a lot and understood how we build apps the right way. Would you like to start a career as an app designer? Then get our online video course. You'll get over 100 videos where you'll learn everything you need to know. We'll create a design system together and show you how to build your own apps. In addition, you'll receive a design system worth $149 for free. You'll learn what the real workday looks like in a large IT company and how to best prepare for it. And in the end, we'll show you how to write a perfect application for your dream job. All you have to do is visit our website, appcourse.io, and secure yourself a free access. So, what are you waiting for? Start your new career today.